he's provided you is some PP and loose promises and the story of how his dad cheated for the 50th time. Hey, welcome back to another video. This video is so late. If you guys notice that drips are coming off my hair, it's because I just washed it. If you are new here, please feel free to look around my channel, see if you like what I've got going on. Subscribe if you want to subscribe. Like the video, comment what you guys think about these episodes and what you're hoping that the reunion is going to be, because that's the next episode coming out. This is going to be a review of episodes 10, 11, and 12. Episode 10 starts with Jeremy talking to his mom about how Laura, is overreacting, but he was just out chilling with Sarah Ann until 5 a.m. Nothing happened, nothing happened, Mom. And I love his mom. His mom was like, you lucky it ain't me, because I would have been waiting for you at the door. But you know what? Laura did handle it pretty well. If I'm in the heat of the moment, you're dead. 6 feet under, buddy. Next up, Chelsea meets Jimmy's family, and they are a bunch of country bumpkins. You hear me? Yeah, they were very, very sweet, though. You can tell that the mom and the dad really love each other, and they love Jimmy. Chelsea is smiling as if she's not a crazy little psycho, and it's great. Yeah, and Jimmy's like, gaslighting himself and being like, this meeting just makes me love you even more. Now that my parents love you, I love you even more. Whatever, Jimmy. You don't love that girl. Okay, next. This shit's gonna piss me off. Next, we have AD sitting with her mommy, waiting for Clay, because Clay's at work, like always. And AD's like, yeah, he didn't come home last night. And I prepared like a really sweet DIY date for us, where I prepped everything, and it's still on the kitchen counter. Bro. AD is treating Clay like the prize. And not only is she treating Clay like the prize, Clay thinks he's the prize. Whenever Clay talks about them, it's always about everything that AD is doing for him. How AD's fighting for him. How AD's leading him. And AD is like, oh, he's such a provider. Just because he has money doesn't mean he's providing nothing. Just because he has money, AD, does not mean that he's providing anything. All he's provided you is some PP and loose promises and the story of how his dad cheated for the 50th time. Hi, I'm Clay. My dad cheated. So then Clay walks in, no flowers, no nothing. Nothing for AD's mom, even though AD brought his mom flowers. Okay. Clay is not a gentleman. He's barely a man. Let's continue. Anyways, during this whole meeting, AD keeps talking about how Clay's a stunner. He just looks so good. He looks so yummy in chocolate. Mom, don't you see? And I think the mom was blinded by his looks too, because she was like, oh. And it's like, almost like AD's mom is a sweetie, and she was speaking life into AD, but when it comes to Clay, she doesn't know that man well enough to be able to make these judgments about him, about how he's a man. That's a man, Savannah. Like, he's a man. He's a provider. That's a man. You fight for him, AD. No, because he's not a man. He doesn't even come home. And all he can talk about is how his dad cheated. And so she's talking about him basically as if AD can't pull anyone better than him. Like, she's talking about him like, you better grab that man and never let him go. Is it just the money? Because he's an entrepreneur and he owns a house? Is that it? Is that why we're holding on to Clay and we're grasping onto him like there's no men like him ever? He's a big baby, as he said himself. One good thing that AD's mom tells Clay is that he is not his parents, and cheating is not genetic. You change what you want to change for yourself, basically. And so that was a really beautiful thing. But yeah, it's just really sad to see, because it seems that AD has no confidence at all in herself, and she thinks that she is the problem. Well, she is the problem because she sees problems and decides to roll with them. This girl will borderline get murdered just to be like, he doesn't mean it. I can change him. I can fix him. Girl, you can't fix him. You can't fix him. Don't save her. She don't want to be saved. You ever heard that? Come on. Next up, Amy and Johnny. Most boring couple, but most cute couple of this season. They have nothing going on. Nothing. Like, wasn't there a clip of them doing IKEA furniture in the last episode? This is the meeting of Amy's dad and Johnny. And Amy's dad comes in real strong, and then he melts like a baby. He is such a cute little man with a cute little accent. And yeah, he was an absolute cutie patootie, and he loves Amy. You can tell he loves Amy. As somebody who loves their dad, like, I can't wait until the day that I'm getting married and I get to introduce my, like, fiance. Well, obviously they would already know each other. Like, I get to hear my dad talk about how much he loves me, and he's giving me away to somebody who loves me. Like, like literally Amy and Johnny's relationship. I call it boring, but it made me cry on multiple occasions. So how boring can it really be? Sometimes you need a little palate cleanser from all the insane people on this show. Amy's dad gives the blessing. Amy was hyping it up like it was gonna be some big thing. Meat and potatoes of episode 10. It's the Chelsea-Jimmy fight. Chelsea's all drunk and is like, you made me angy wangy. You made me, what's the word she used? You made me cranky. Cranky. That's like a children's book word. Cranky? You're a grown woman, Chelsea. Cranky? Anyways, you made me cranky earlier because last night you went on to the bar and you asked me to go, but I was already in bed, which Jimmy asked her to go knowing she didn't want to go because she was already in bed. But I digress, because you would have probably ruined the fucking vibe. Anyways, he went out for an hour and a half, which means he drove, was there, and came back all within an hour and a half. Girl, what do you think he's doing in that time? He's probably driving for 20, and you know he's out in public, and you are accusing him of doing XYZ, of seeing Jess, of doing this, of being with his friends, and she's all drunk and sloppy and whatever. And then she reveals in this fight, where she's literally fishing and lying, and Jimmy's calling her out, she reveals that Jimmy had slept with the friends that were met in the last episode. Now, I understand why you could be uncomfortable with that. I would be uncomfortable if I had to deal with a man who was best friends with somebody he had sex with. But you knew that before even meeting them. You knew that. He told you off camera because he didn't want the friend to be embarrassed. But Jimmy, why the fuck did you bring them on camera? You did not have to bring that friend specifically on camera. You could have brought all of the friends that you haven't slept with, unless you slept with them all. All right, Jimmy. It was so stupid, and Jimmy's like, I'm done. And Chelsea's like, don't leave, baby, don't go, baby. I hate her voice, oh my God. Then Clay and AD are filling out their marriage license. AD is kind of upset, or well, not upset, she's just a little sad that she has to circle deceased for her father. And Clay starts talking weird. Foreshadowing. This guy says, yeah, I was watching Love is Blind, and I'm not ready for marriage, and why do we have to do it on a certain date? Nigga, you signed up for the show. Look at me in my eye, Clayton. You signed up for a show where you have to get married. What do you mean, why do I have to get married? And the way that this season worked, it's basically like everybody just drops out. I guess maybe people were not comfortable with the fact that the altar had to be what's it called? An obligatory thing, because I'm sure that it was a matter of embarrassing people in front of their entire families. But if that's the case, isn't everybody just going to break it off before the altar now? Like, it kind of takes away from the show's appeal. Though it's great for the people, it's not great for entertainment. But if everyone is dropping out like flies, maybe Clay should have dropped out before the altar. Because everybody else is. But this man wanted a TV moment. Unfortunately, Jimmy forgives Chelsea. And Chelsea's like, oh, I love your sweatpants. I love your sweatpants. And Chelsea cannot take accountability for the life of her. For the life of her. She's like, yeah, we both were wrong in this situation. We both. Girl, you literally got drunk, told him that she didn't love you and XYZ and blah, blah, blah. And no, you're wrong, Chelsea. You're wrong. Just say, I was wrong. Jimmy can be wrong sometimes, but he wasn't wrong in that conversation. So, shut up. So then it's a beach party. All the girls, it's not a beach party. Now we're at a lake party. All the girls are girling it up. Jeremy's there, yucking it up with his Hawaiian shirt that he wore on purpose to piss off Laura. Like, actually, he's so immature. He's like a teenage girl. And Laura is like a high school bully, so it's even worse. It feels so high school. And these people are 30. These people are in their 30s and late 20s. Come on. Laura is very butthurt at this party because things are not going well with Jeremy. AD makes him do the scrunchie of truth. Girl, scrunchie. And one thing about AD, if you got business, she's going to be in it. She's in everybody's business but her own. And I don't mean to side with Sarah Ann, like, later in this episode, but yeah, AD kind of needs to mind her business because she is just everywhere except for in her own man's business. Messy. Everybody's showing up. And guess who shows up? Jessica. Jessica's showing up and being all coy. She goes to handshake Jimmy, but he gives her a church hug. And she's like, oh, I nearly fell out of my chair. My heart nearly burst out of my chest when you gave me that hug. Girl, you don't want that man. You don't want King of the Hill, Jimmy, toe-faced Jimmy looking ass. Like, you do not want Jimmy. Don't play in my face like you want Jimmy, Jessica. Jessica is an actress. I swear to God, Jessica is an actress. She just wants a storyline, a plot, a thing. Yeah, that's what Jessica's here for. But yeah, Jimmy is liking Jessica, obviously, because Jessica didn't set any expectations of her looks. So Jessica looks good to Jimmy. And Jimmy looks good to Jessica, apparently. But they have a talk with very flirty undertones, but Jessica is not saying anything technically flirty. She does do this one thing where she's like, I want you to treat Chelsea properly. Like, come on. And like, I don't mean to give you advice as your ex. I mean to give you advice as someone who really cares about Chelsea. Girl, y'all don't like each other. You and Chelsea don't like each other. Calm down. Like, you don't hate each other. I'm sure you don't hate each other, but you guys are not friends. That's basically the end of episode 10. Episode 11, we're still at the lake party. Sarah Ann shows up. Woo! Nobody's happy. Except for Jeremy, I guess. No one's happy. Laura is all bark, no bite, talking shit, but she's not confronting her at all. Trevor also shows up. And he has a conversation with Chelsea where Chelsea's like, yeah, you're like my type and Jimmy knows that, blah, 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 blah. Fuck Trevor. Fuck Trevor and fuck his ex-girlfriend too. Like, oh my God. Like the most not. How do you say people who aren't genuine again? Disingenuous people are on this season, I swear to God. Like, Trevor's literally gonna be on Perfect Match season 2. Jessica as well. But yeah, it's basically those two are talking. They're like, oh, I still have my bracelet. Like, okay, Chelsea. But if Jimmy did it, you'd have a freak out and kill him. Laura and Jeremy talk. It's a bunch of nothing, just a bunch of petty comments. Jeremy basically sums it down to, I was trying, and if we're not going to resolve this because you keep texting me all nasty, I don't want to do this anymore. Can we just have fun while we're here? And Laura's like, okay, so your engagement just ended, but you're worried about having fun? Whatever, I'm going to pack my shit and go. And Jeremy's like, I already packed your shit. You better not. Imagine touching somebody else's things and packing their things up in a shared space. Ew. Then, Laura's not confronting Sarah Ann, but guess who does? AD? Amber? We don't involve ourselves in white people's business. Why are you fighting for this white woman who literally told her fiance to assault you? That's not my business. AD, you do what you want. But yeah, she's just being the voice of the audience, I guess, being like, so you don't think it was wrong to message an engaged man, Sarah? Sarah's like, no, it's in this experiment, and I felt like I hadn't gotten things off my chest, and I deserve to be heard. Sarah, shut the fuck up. Sarah, shut the fuck up. And she's like, so you don't think asking him if the door is still open? And Sarah's like, I never said that. And AD's like, I read the text, so shut up. Like, it's just a bunch of nothing, and the conversation gets very petty. It's like, if you feel that way, then that's your opinion, blah, blah, blah. And then AD gets up and leaves. And she's like, I'm Team Laura. All right, is Laura Team you? Was Laura Team AD when she asked her fiance to assault you? Whatever. After that, Sarah Ann and Jeremy get to talking, and Sarah is like trying to force the tears out. I think she's actually upset, but only upset because her image is not going to be great, and she's not going to get a good edit, and she knows that because, like, you're a villain. She's crying. She's like, I deserve to have my feelings hurt, and I don't think the text was that bad, and la 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 la, and I need everybody to mind their fucking business. Me. Whatever. Jeremy's like, yeah, you were not in the wrong. What should we do now? I don't know. Jeremy's like, you wanna ride jet skis? And then they ride jet skis into the sunset as Laura is crying. Like, I guess Laura's upset, but I don't know why everybody's crying without tears. It's really uncomfortable. And next, it's a bunch of dress fittings and suit fittings, whatever. Clay has friends who are a lot more attractive than him, but, you are who you hang out with sometimes, so I'm gonna stay away from that. During the dress fittings, Chelsea's dress looked good, but not notable. Amy's dress looked great, and Amy's mom is very sweet and told her this beautiful, beautiful speech in Spanish, and everybody's nodding their head like they understand. But, you understand in your heart what she's saying. It's just a beautiful moment. And then AD's veil was really tacky to me. I think AD's entire dress is a little tacky, but, I don't know. She definitely loves her body, and that's good. I just think that it lacked a little bit of elegance, and it almost looked like a white Fashion Nova dress, to be honest. It just looked like a dress where the entire point of the dress is to show your body, like a bodycon. It didn't give wedding. And the veil with the words that say "till death do us part," does that not give Shein, Fashion Nova, H&M, like that gives graphic tee, and it's a veil. But that's just me. Tell me if you guys disagree in the comments. If you guys think it's cute, that's up to you. So after all the dress fittings and suit fittings, they go on little dates. AD and Clay go on a dinner date. Chelsea and Jimmy go to Carowinds, which is a amusement park that got rented out for them, which to me is a little creepy. I don't like that. That's their date. Oh, and see how forgettable they are? Johnny and Amy have like a camping date, and it's really cute, and they have a dog with them, and it's adorable. Okay. Then the episode ends with Jimmy being like, how are you feeling about us? Because I don't know where your head's at. And she's like, we know how she feels. Episode 12, meet me at the altar. Let's get into it. We continue this conversation with Jimmy and Chelsea. Jimmy's like, Jimmy literally said, like, oh, I know where I'm at. I know how much I love you, blah, blah, blah. How do you feel? And then she's like, well, I love you, Jimmy, la, 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 la. And he's like, cool. I'm not going to marry you. Period. What? Jimmy loves to set things up just to tear things down. What is up with him? And this is the first time in the whole season that Jimmy was being 100% honest and genuine. This is how Jimmy was feeling the entire season. And I don't know why you dragged it out this long if you were going to end it. I'm with Chelsea on this one. Why were we picking out our wedding songs and doing all this bullshit if you were just going to end it right now, literally days before the wedding? Come on. Sorry, Jimmy. That was a dick move. Dick move, Jimmy. Like, correct move, but way too late, and you're literally a punk bitch rat. So, yeah, that's how I feel about it. But thank God, because I couldn't hear Chelsea whine on her wedding day. And if he would have rejected her at the altar, we would have had a Zeneb moment. We would have had a Zeneb moment times 20. She would have been on the altar being like, well, you say no to me, but you're fucking your friend? Is that why you're saying no to me? Because you want to fuck your friend? The entire Amy and I need to look at you guys. The entire Amy and Johnny sequence, tears, buckets. I didn't skip through the whole thing like some of you. Yeah, I know they're boring, but they're still people. They deserve to be watched. I did skip through some of it. I'm not gonna lie. But I watched a lot of it, and every speech that the father gave, every speech that the sister-in-law of Amy gave, like Johnny's sister gave, every interaction with the both of the families, I was bawling, and I was already in my feelings because of other things, so I was just like crying. They truly love each other. I believe that they are going to last. Like, I fully believe they're gonna last. It was just beautiful. Anyways, they get married. It's amazing. It's amazing. Okay, now to Clay and AD. Clay is bullshitting during the entire thing, being like, yeah, she just builds me up. She just loves me. How do you feel about her? She fights for me. She everything for me. Shut up. Oh my God. And then we meet the infamous Clay's dad, who talks a lot but says a bunch of nothing. This guy comes in, yeah, I remember when you used to do track, we used to practice, and I would always beat you, but then you beat me one day. And I was like, oh my God. And I'm so proud of you and stuff. And like, you know, because I do track. I was an all-star. I almost went to the Olympics, and you did track, and I was living through you, son. Like, this man had no interest in AD, talking about AD or nothing. Nothing. This man was here for the vibes. This man was here for his TV moment, just like Clay. And Clay always likes to claim that he's a mommy's boy, but you've been hiding a secret from your mom for 16 years probably, or more, because Clay is like late 20s, and he says that he took on these infidelity trips when he was a kid. Kid can be perceived as teenager or as like a kid. Either way, it's been at least 10 years and you haven't told your mom like this secret that is so integral. I mean, he told her off camera because of a conversation that his parents have later. But yeah, you're such a mommy's boy, but you literally lie to your mom every day of your life and keep secret from your mom every day of your life. As an adult. Come on. You're not a baby. You're not a baby. You're not a baby boy. It's disgusting. Anyways, we know Clay's dad talks about how he didn't have a father. And it's literally like the pattern. You can see the pattern of how Clay acts when you look at his dad. Him and his dad are the same. The same. And Clay literally came on national TV and aired out his entire family business every episode. For what? AD is with her ladies and everything's going good. AD's lashes look terrible on her wedding day. I'm not gonna even sugarcoat it. Like, they were not even laid properly. There was makeup on here and it was bad. It was bad. I don't know why there's no black production to look out for. Like, there has to be a black person behind that camera. I don't like AD's wedding look at all. And AD walks herself down the aisle. Nobody walked her. Didn't Clay mention a brother that could walk her? Doesn't she have sisters? Somebody should have walked her. I don't even care if AD said, I want to walk down the aisle alone. Whatever. Maybe she wanted a independent woman moment. Either way, they get to the altar, the both of them, and AD is pouring into this man. I love everything about us. I love how you do this, and I love you, and I blah, blah, blah. And Clay's like, giving her nothing, just being like, yeah, I love how you did. Again, for me, I love how you do this for me. I love how you do that for me. I love how you do this for me. Nothing about her. And when she was walking up the altar, this guy says, okay, body. Not you objectifying her up the aisle. But you know what she says? She says, don't you see the material? AD, Clay says no. I'm not even gonna go through all the little intricacies. Clay says no. And AD's like, what the fuck? What do you mean, what the fuck, AD? This man showed you every red flag and literally told you in his words that he cannot be a husband. And then you're surprised that he cannot be a husband. So AD walks off with her crew. Clay walks off with his mom. But Clay's mom is an absolute beauty. She hugged AD when she got rejected and stuff. And it's just an absolute sweetie pie. But Clay's like talking to the camera and being like, I didn't know how her finances was. I didn't trust it. I wasn't ready to be a husband. It would be irresponsible for me to say yes. And if I'm not deeply in love, why would I say yes? You weren't deeply in love? Oh my God, that's horrible. That's horrible to say. I thought she was your best friend and you were in love. You fell in love through a wall. You didn't know what she looked like, but you can work with that apparently. Which Clay's not attracted to AD. Clay just saw a big bum and said, I'm just going to close my eyes during sex. But that's none of my business. AD is bawling her eyes out, saying that she doesn't understand it. She doesn't feel like she'll ever be loved and she thought it was her turn, stuff like that. AD, you are worthy of the world. You are worthy of a good man. It's just not Clay. It's not Clay. And you need to stop seeing bad men and thinking that you can turn them into good men. You can't. That is your biggest issue, and that's why God did this. This is your final fucking warning. Next time you do this shit, you're gonna get a bigger slap from God. Trust me. AD, you should have expected this. But then Clay goes into her suite and it's like, it's not you, AD. I'm not rejecting you. Like, I had to do it for me. I had to do it for me, girl. And then I'm angry. He goes, where's my hug? Give me a hug. And he hugs her and kisses her. And AD's like, I don't see myself giving him another chance. The way she hugged him, he's in. He's in that. She's not over him. Obviously, it just happened. But like, she's gonna give him the cat. She's gonna give him the meow meow. But yeah, it's very sad to see a black woman being treated so poorly on my television screen. But I hope that AD learned a freaking lesson. Because the way that the flags were so red and she was just ready to dive in, it's sad. That's the episode. Can't wait for the finale. Not for the finale, for the reunion. I can't wait for the reunion. I hope that Sarah Ann shows her face, and I'm excited to see if she's with Jeremy still. I think that Clay and AD would have dated, but I don't think they'll be dating. I think that Chelsea and Jimmy probably did something, talked to each other again or something, but I don't think they'll be dating either. I didn't see any promo pictures of Laura, which means Laura's not going to answer for her crimes. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for staying. Thank you for rocking with me. Thank you for rocking with your boy Clay. This season was very entertaining, I'm not gonna lie. Very entertaining. This show is not what it used to be. This show will never produce more Lauren and Camerons, not even a Brett and Tiffany. this show will never be genuine ever again. Because people go on this show for fame, for recognition, for etc. now. Love is Blind is no longer pure. We all know that love is not blind. It's been 6 seasons. We know that now. It's just like, loving somebody is blind until you see them, and if you do like how they look, then you're good. That's what the show should be called. Anyways, bye guys. Love you.